I'm doing it semi-frequently, so don't worry. I'm going to try. I know this room probably has an echo. Sorry about that. I am currently working in my dad's office at his office building because my mother's currently working at home and I'm doing something with my father to help him with his job. I don't get paid whatsoever. But when the video comes out, I will be putting it down in the description as soon as possible. So, if you like my content, please consider looking at my other content. If you like this episode, please consider looking at the other episodes or my other content, especially since my best one personally would have to be Horror Neko. Yeah, sorry about that. just to start off, sorry that you're gonna be scarred. Remember, if listening to this, please take everything I say with a grain of salt. It's what I think would happen if this situation would happen. And I don't own Naruto. Naruto owns ramen. Anything else I need to cover? Nope. So we go to the bell test. It is 10 minutes before the bell test starts, and she just finally gets there. And Sakura yells she's late. She goes, I don't give a shit. And they're like, what? She goes, is Sensei here? No. So, leave me alone. She goes up to a tree and walks up it. Just without any thing before it, just starts walking up the tree. And Sasuke and Sakura are just gaping that Sasuke just starts seething because he hasn't learned that yet. Sakura, on the other hand, is just dumbfounded. She sits on the bottom side of a branch, just having her tail sway back and forth, back and forth. And there's a little snake that crawls up on her arm. And she just starts petting the snake and goes, you know, it'd be so much easier if she had the Badger contract. The snake hisses and she goes, I know, I understand. But with what I did to her, it would be so much easier for her to have the Badger contract. Snake hisses. She goes, ugh. Whatever. Just go back to her and say I'll take her out for Dango later. And they're hearing this like, what? Kakashi heard this whole thing and is like, wait, what? What? They just hear a boom. Because Kakashi's brain is short-circuiting, so his chakra control is short-circuiting, and everything is short-circuiting, so he's twitching on the ground, just be like, And she goes, huh, so that's where he was hiding. I thought he was hiding the tree next to him. And she goes, walks straight up to Kakashi, pulls out 2 bells from her pack, and walks right up to him, puts the 2 wooden bells that she hinged into metal bells in his pack, and grabs the 2 metal bells out of her pack, walks right up to Sasuke and Sakura, and says, don't tell him shit. Hands Sakura one and Sasuke the other, and goes, you'll understand why later. So he goes through the speech about it. Sakura's like, yes, Naruto is not going to be on our team. Or Naruto is not going to be on our team. Yes. And finally, Naruto goes, but what about the bells? Those aren't bells. And he looks down at his thing and he goes, yeah, they are. She goes, I don't see bells. I see wooden carvings of a bell, but I don't see bells. He looks back down, sees wooden bells, and he goes, okay, How did you know? And she flips through hand seals and summons a little tiny snake. He goes, this is my little friend. Her name is Sasha. And she's the only one keeping Anko from completely cutting off my legs. So I can't run away from her. Sasha is pretty much always sealed in my back right shoulder blade. And Anko has put a seal on her so I don't get lost. So if Anko ever hears that I'm in trouble, she can reverse summon herself to me. And if she's ever in trouble, she can reverse summon me to her to help her. And she's really clingy. So Kashi's like, wait. Anko, the sadistic best person in TNI. Yes, that Anko. He goes, doesn't Kurenai? She goes, yes. Yes, she does. And it's really freaking irritating. He goes, so love triangle? She goes, no. Kurenai's just a third wheel. He goes, okay then. She goes, oh yeah, I'm going out with her tomorrow, so no strenuous missions or I will burn every single one of your books, burn down your house with all your collections, all 3 golden, silver, and bronze collections. And he starts bailing, and she goes, oh, and don't mess with us. Don't spread rumors. Don't do anything. And that goes for both of you. She looks at Sakura and Sasuke. She's just done with it at this point. So she walks off. We go to the next day after the date. They are currently lying in bed, sweaty. You can guess what happened there. Anko says she's been hearing rumors in the Ambu about her being in a relationship. And she goes, do you know who started those? And she goes, yeah, Ibiki. Naruto just starts giggling, like maniacal giggling. And across town with Ibiki while he's torturing someone, Ibiki just gets this giant dread wash over him. His face just goes pale white. He goes, I'll be back. You continue. I gotta stop something from happening. I just remembered I just fucked up. And the prisoner who was about to crack was like, wait, what? What's going on? And his coworker, which was Dragon, the commander of Ambu, was like, you started those rumors, didn't you? And he goes, yes. She goes, I'll order you a replacement set. God damn it. He goes, oh, I like this set. She goes, oh, don't worry. Just go into my back office, grab the scroll, and replace all your crap. And then he goes, then she'll notice. She goes, no, she won't. I've been using that stuff as long as you have. So he looks at the scroll, looks at all the condition of all the stuff. He goes, pretty damn close. Hopefully she doesn't notice. He hides the scroll on him at all times of his stuff. And I'm not going to tell you what this stuff is because YouTube would be like, yeah, no. That kind of stuff, no. So he hid that stuff on him at all times. So he found all that stuff missing that Dragon let him borrow. And it's like, He reaches into the pocket with the scroll that had all of his stuff inside of it. And it's not there. So he starts patting around And he looks in all of his drawers thinking, oh, I might have put it somewhere. I don't think I set it down, though. He looks in his last drawer at his house, in his nightstand, his last drawer. He opens it, and a note falls off the bottom of it. He picks up the note, and it says, thank you for all your supplies. I saw Dragon Supplies replacing yours, so I went and cleaned out your supplies. Don't worry, you're getting new supplies. Love, Naruto. And he goes, God, no, 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 no. So he starts bawling, and the Ambu run in, and they see a mentally broken Ibiki, and he's just crying, and they go, you started that rumor, didn't you? And he goes, yes. And they all just start laughing. So, after maybe a month of that, Anko is currently out on a mission. And she's finishing up, so don't worry. Oh, fuck. God. Crap. So, she has been doing good. Going out with Anko, living in the forest of death, and so on. Anko is currently out on a mission, an assassination mission. She's cleaning up currently, about to head home. And one thing that she notices is a hawk flying over her. It flies down and gives her a note that says, I know you left a summoned creature with Naruto. Please join them on the mission. They need help. They need backup. And she reads the entire thing. The client, Tazuna, lied because their financial situation is the same as Naruto. They can't get anything because of a tyrant, or because of people not being able to sell it or won't sell it. So she understands that they're all malnutrition, bad living conditions. So she immediately goes through the hand seal, reverse summons herself to Snake Cave, and then reverse summons herself to Naruto, who, may I add, is currently fighting Zabuza Momochi. And she feels her summoned animal basically bite her neck, which is a love bite, not a I'm gonna kill you bite, because that ain't gonna happen. And she goes, oh, Anko's about to arrive. So she backflips and just stands on the water, being like, she gonna make a pun, and I'm gonna laugh my ass off if I stand on the water. So let me stand on land. She gets onto land. Anko poofs into existence. And she sees Zabuza Momochi and goes, huh. You're going to give me extra. She goes, fine. So Anko doesn't look like her normal self. She looks like this currently, because she's basically tired. She needs an extra boost. So she's using the curse mark. No, it's not the curse mark of heaven. That's what Sasuke and Anko originally had. No, she has the curse mark of hell. It takes a Biju or a creature with 9 or 8 tails worth of power or to make a curse mark of hell. And it doesn't do what the normal curse mark does of taking chakra in and letting out basically tainted chakra. No, what it does is it takes chakra in at all times. So if you're maxed out, it's only taking. But if you're basically at nothing, it starts releasing chakra back in. So it's like a storage seal. But it has a stage 2. It has a stage 2 to make it to where it has the best synergy to you. So it basically picks the perfect animal for your synergy. And just saying, Enko is not a snake. So after they found out her synergy, it leveled up to level 2. So Enko has 2 animal contracts, by the way. One is meant to only fight Orochimaru, and the second one is her normal one, the snake one. So don't worry, she's going to be using snakes most of the time. But she made a deal with the other contract to fight the snake bastard, in her words. So he dies. So Zabuza's already on his last legs. She starts using her curse mark, and her chakra goes from basically 10% to 110%. And she goes, I'm ready for more. And Naruto goes, oh, don't worry. The hunter in the trees is about to knock him out and take him away for a week so we can fight him again at 100%. And Zabuza, underneath his mask, is just going, what? How? Huh? Who is this person? And Anko's like, ooh, goody. Turns off the curse mark because it still takes chakra to activate. So she's at like 109% now. So she turns it off, and it sucks up 50% of the chakra it gave her. But with the overabundance of chakra in her chakra system, it increased her coils a little bit. It expanded her coils a little bit, so she just has like 1% more, and that retains as her 100% now. So on and so on. Each time she activates or has it on for a long period of time, her chakra coils go up 1% every 10 minutes. So you'll understand why that works, how it works later. And Anko looks at what currently Naruto is holding, and she goes, what the hell is that? And she goes, oh, this? That's nothing. Throws it away, and it just dissolves. And she goes, okay, what the hell is that? She goes, I'll tell you later. It's the Uzumaki clan bloodline. My mother had the chakra chain version of it, which is rare, but I had an even rarer version. She goes, okay, you're going to have to tell me that later. And she goes, will do. So they get to Tazuna's house. Everybody's sitting down, having dinner. Inari walks in. Is all happy that Tazuna got home. But then he sees Naruto. And he is a child still. So he's curious. He walks up to her and just is staring at her. She has ears, they're twitching, the tail is wagging back and forth. She's currently hugging the arm of Enko because she's tired, and yeah. So Enko is just watching this kid just stare at Naruto. And he reaches out to touch the tail, and Anko just blocks his way, being like, I don't suggest you do that. And he asks why, and she goes, um, she looks at Tsunami and says, has he been taught the birds and the bees? And Tsunami goes, no. She goes, it's like that, but 10 times more sensitive. And Tsunami goes beet red. And everybody else is just like, wait, what? Sakura takes a few seconds to understand. Kakashi in the background just starts giggling. And Sasuke's still brooding on the side. He's not even paying attention. Tazuna just gets blown back with a nosebleed. Because he's still drunk and yeah. Tsunami is just to be like, okay, I'll tell him later. But yeah, Inari, don't do that. And Inari's like, what's the birds and the bees? Tsunami's like, I'll tell you in a year, maybe 2. Depending on how mature you get. I'll tell you. So he goes, okay. And Naruto and Anko are scouting the island while Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke are doing tree walking, and Sakura gets taught water walking. Sasuke barely learns tree walking by the time it's the battle on the bridge. So he barely has control of his chakra with that. And he wants them to teach him a powerful jutsu. And Naruto's like, okay, I'll teach you a powerful jutsu. Anko sees the slight stutter wag of her tail because she's holding in her laughter. And Anko just busts a gut laughing. And Kakashi's like, I don't think you should learn one. She goes, okay, do these hand signs, like, pick 3 random hand signs. And she goes, Scorch style. Fireball. So he tries it and tries it and tries it, and Kakashi just starts laughing his ass off. And he looks at him and he goes, why are you laughing? And they go, because you don't have the right blood to do it. And he goes red in the face, pissed off. She goes, I taught you a jutsu. I never said you'd be able to use it. And he goes even redder. And he has to begrudge that she did teach him a jutsu. And she did do what she said. But she's still mad at him. Or he's still mad at her. Yeah. I have an idea. It's going to be a bad idea. But I have an idea. It's a male Naruto x female Sasuke. So yeah. Yeah. That will be later though, once I finish this one. So I'll be right back. So I'm back. I had to get something to eat because I'm hangry. Fight scene. I kind of really don't want to do a fight scene today. Today's supposed to be a happy day. Portraits in the park. Yay! Whoa! No. Today's going to be a fight scene. then I'm going to skip the first part of the Chunin exams because it's just like bleh. Second part, meh. I'm going to say it goes as canon because who really cares about the second part of the Chunin exams? So, fight scene. We go to Zabuza and Haku. Zabuza's like, she knows you're going to be there. Just show up. Haku's like, okay. A little bit more speaking, but you can fill in the blanks. So they appear on the bridge. Both of them. And Zabuza is death glaring Naruto. He goes, I challenge you to a duel. Haku snaps her head towards Zabuza's like, you promised me you wouldn't. He goes, I don't care. I challenged her to a duel. She goes, okay. So she stabs her hand into her stomach and pulls out a blade. A long katana. It's bone white blade with a red fleshy toned handle. So yeah. Anko sees the blade. It sees the blood. And walks right up behind her and whispers in her ear, that was hot. She shivers, her tail poofs out, be like, yeah, this is gonna be fast. So she speeds up her fight with Zabuza because she really wants her reward. She gets her reward after. Just saying. But Zabuza unsheathes his Kubikiri Bocho, sees the bone white blade, and goes, so, I was right. You were an Uzumaki. She goes, yeah, I am an Uzumaki. I am also a clan from Lightning Country, but meh, who cares? And the funny bit is, I'm also part alien. Everybody snaps their head towards her, except for Zabuza, who's currently staring at her and is like, what? She goes, how should I say this? When I was little, I got infected with a virus. My condition overrid it. So I now look like this. And this virus makes it harder for me to die. Like, completely. I could pass on the virus if I want to, which I've already done once. But, meh. She's now kind of immortal like me, but meh. So, everybody is just like, what? What the hell's going on? So we go to a bandit who is supposed to be watching for Gato. His eyes turn yellow and slitted. He goes through hand seals and says, summoning jutsu. Writes down something on a scroll, hands it to the snake eats it, and then poofs out. And then he immediately takes his dagger and slits his own throat. He's dead. So, yeah. With how much chakra that Zabuza, Naruto, and Anko are all releasing, they didn't notice the slight amount of chakra on the edge of the field. So she goes, before we completely start, I'd like to test you to see if you are actually worthy of me dueling. He goes, okay. What's this test? Because the Uzumaki's blades are perilous. There's nothing that can break them. Might as well take the test. So she summons a few shadow clones, and they start singing a song. And dread washes over all of them. All the ones who aren't used to her singing. And he starts singing the lyrics. Brain work. It's Twisted Side by... I completely forgot the name of that person who sings it. Sensei Beats. So yeah, you can go look it up. It's Twisted Side by Sensei Beats. Really good song. During this, she starts saying something. She starts speaking in riddles. I'm not going to say the riddles yet, because that's going to be something important for later. And plus, I don't have half of them done. So, we go to after she's done. She stabs herself with the blade and then breaks it. Zabuza sees this and freaks out, being like, how the hell did you break that blade? And she pulls a new blade out from that blade. She pulls out that part and it turns into a handle by cutting her hand. And she pulls out the full blade and it turns into a giant freaking handle. Like a 2.5 foot long handle. And she just keeps pulling out the blade. The handle and blade are all one piece. Completely red, like blood crimson red, gleaming metal. And it's like, I have to say, 10.5 feet long. She grabs it with both hands, gets in a kenjutsu stance. Not a kenjutsu stance, a kendo stance. And just swings down. And she just goes, severing. After the song finishes. He's still standing, but he's on edge. So she swings it down, says severing, and this super, super thin line or screen of red appears. If you've ever seen like red plastic where you could still see through it, like clear red plastic, that's what it looks like. But thinner. Like a lot thinner. And it just sliced the entire bridge in half. The water, they just saw a clap, what looked like a clap going down the water from because of how strong the swing was. So, when she finished swinging, she sat down and just waited. Zabuza, who was in the middle of that swing, just slowly slid apart. Kubikiri Bocho is completely shattered. Once he started sliding, Kubikiri Bocho shattered into dust. They're completely confused on that part. But Zabuza's dead. Haku didn't do anything because she was freaking out from the song's genjutsu. Yes, the song has genjutsu. So, if you can guess what they saw, because I'm not going to tell you, you can use your imagination, but if you can guess correctly what I'm thinking they saw, you can have a cookie. But Gato appears being like, oh, shit. Kill them? But she's like, yeah, nah. So she runs at them, starts slicing them to bits, and all that's left is bloody chunks left on the bridge. Gato's the last person. He has no arms or legs. And she basically skips over to a very red Anko. It says, he's all yours. And out of absolutely nowhere, Anko plants her kiss right on her. They are kissing for a few minutes, and finally she's like, okay, I suggest you go interrogate him before he bleeds to death. And your toy's lost. Anko's like, okay. So after that, Anko and Naruto storm his base. Naruto takes possession of everything in Wave and then starts distributing it. Everything outside of Wave, Anko takes possession of. And starts using it as her own spy network. She has businesses in fire, wind, water, lightning, earth, grass, spring, or not spring. It's not spring yet. Snow, demon, and so on. So, tea, honey, noodle, yeah, all them. So she has a network all over the elemental nations except for one place. Wave. So Anko opens up a brothel and a bar right next to the brothel. So yeah, she now has a spy network better than Jiraiya's. And I'll tell you why later. So finally she gets all that done, and she goes up to Naruto and goes, you get your reward soon. And Naruto goes, don't I have 2 rewards? And she goes, what do you mean? She goes, I showed you a slaughter. Anko remembers how she looked, all bloody and gory, and she goes, oh yeah, you do. So they don't leave the room for 2, maybe 3 days. Yeah, 2 or 3 days. So yeah. After they're done, Bridge is finishing up. So Anko finally leaves and goes to Konoha, gives her debriefing on the first bit, and waits for Naruto and Kakashi for the next bit. And finally, they're done. A week later, Kakashi's like, Chunin exams, go. And during that week, that's when Ibiki was like, okay, I'm screwed. Starts putting everything away and walking around. Naruto bumps into him a few times, just smiling happily, and he gets even more scared. He starts crying at one point, being like, sorry. She's like, what are you sorry for? The Anbu are like, oh, he's dead. The civilians are like, what did she do this time, that monster? And the ninja are like, how the hell is she scaring him so bad? Finally, the Jonin starts spreading it through the Jonin lounge, and some Chunin are hearing it. They spread it through the Chunin, and finally the Genin hear about it during the exams. When Anko bursts in through the window with a banner that says the sexy and taken Anko Mitarashi. And Naruto jumps up and gives her one steamy kiss in front of everybody. The men blow back with a nosebleed, except for Ibiki, who starts crying in the corner, be like, I'll be forever alone. Naruto hears this and throws something at Ibiki. He grabs it and picks it up and goes, are you sure? She goes, dude, I've helped how many people get a couple? He goes, Kotetsu Izumo, Yugao and Hate. She goes, my point's exactly. Kotetsu and Izumo are happily married now. And everybody hears this, and Izumo and Kotetsu, who are hiding in the back of the room, are like, yeah, we are. And yes, I'm making them gay. They're around each other too much not to be in love. Like, come on. It's not that bad. Yugao and Hayate. He was just too blind, so she literally had to spell it out for him on the Hokage monument. They're now happily married. Ayame and Iruka. Oh, this is gonna get weird. This is gonna get weird. There's a few other ones, but I don't know them at this exact point in time because I'm not gonna go into detail about their love lives yet. Emphasis on yet. So have fun with that. Thinking of who it was. Who's who. Who's significant other. So Enko says training ground 44, 10 minutes or you all fail. And just runs out holding Naruto behind her. So she's flapping in the wind like a paper. A paper. Piece of paper being dragged behind someone running really fast. So yeah. That's that part. So we go to Orochimaru. He's appeared, sealed off the QB, which doesn't actually work because the QB's not actually sealed. You'll understand that later. So he bites Naruto to get her out of the way, but he just infected himself with something even worse. The defense of Doomsday. Now, Doomsday does not have this in canon DC, but I'm giving him this ability. Whenever someone undead or someone trying to put a piece of his soul in Doomsday to control him, Doomsday yanks out 90% of the soul that's left in that body like the original soul of that body, and consumes it, making the soul of the person who is infected with doomsday stronger. He hasn't noticed yet because the effects take a little bit to settle in, but he's going to notice in 30 days from this a day, which is 1 month from the prelims and so on. So we go to, prelims, canon all the way up until the Kiba versus Naruto fight. Kiba made snarky comments and then made sexist comments about Enko, pissing off Naruto severely. So Naruto is like, okay, screw this. If you can mentally survive my first and only attack, you win. And then she says, I'll even sweeten the deal. I'll become your mate. Everybody freezes. Clones appear. Music supplies appears. Drums, guitar, and everything. And she starts singing a particular song. Monster by Skillet. So in the middle of the song, Kiba starts crying. He runs to the corner and starts sucking his thumb like a child. So, yes, it's going to get bad. It's going to get worse. Everybody sees 3 people in a room. This big white padded room. One side is all bloody and just covered in guts and gore. The other side is a peaceful meadow with a giant fox in it sleeping. And the other side, the third side of the room, because it's a triangular room, is a white padded room with a girl crying in it. Everybody sees this, and they see that the girl in the bloody corner is yelling and spitting at the girl in the not bloody corner. And she just cries harder and harder. During this song, Sarutobi, Enko, Yugao, Hayate, and everybody that has gotten to know her for who she really is sees the little girl and knows, crap, she's hurting again. How the hell do we help her this time? Everybody sees that every time she says monster. Yes, they see it a lot. So, everybody knows about, since most of the people had a blacked out area for the third area, where the QB is, they don't know what's in that area, but they think it's an even greater monster. But those who know she's the QB Chinchidiki secrets of grassy fields where it's playing with foxes or just sleeping and having a rest peacefully. So I think, it's not an inherently bad creature, it's just misunderstood. It took them 90% of the song to understand that. But as they're listening to the song, the girl in the corner where it's not as bad, but it's still bad with the dirt and all that, cries even harder. Finally, the QB sees her, or hears her, whichever one you want to think, hears her banging her head against the wall at the rhythm of the drum beat, and immediately wraps around her with a tail very softly to stop her from beating her head against the wall. And she cries even harder, latching onto the tail. By the end of it, you see a single tear roll down her face, and she's sweating. She's completely exhausted from this. And Sarutobi, seeing Kiba is currently weeping in the corner, goes, "Okay, I think we should take like a 5-minute break." And Hayate's like, "Yeah." So Sarutobi shunshuns down to the arena and immediately embraces Naruto in a hug, giving her the biggest hug he possibly could. And yeah, she starts bawling. Anko appears. Yuga appears in her cat disguise and her cat mask, and gives her a hug. So everybody's starting to hug her. They're trying to reassure her, and finally she falls asleep. After like 2 minutes, they take her up to the judges area where Sarutobi, Anko, and Yuga would normally stand by themselves, and Anko is currently sitting on the ground with her head in her lap. And they don't feel it, but someone's death staring them. Yes, death stare. I don't remember if I have very short-term memory on some stuff. But I don't remember if I've listed who the third person is in that love triangle thing. Majig, because she's just a third wheel. But she has a crush on Anko. Well, not really a crush, but an obsession with Anko. So, from canon, who do you remember that's female that could have an obsession with Anko? If you get it right in the comments, you get an invitation to the Discord. I will put one in the description. I'll put one and in the comments for whoever gets it first. So yeah, we go to 10 minutes after Gaara, the canon fight for Gaara versus Lee. She finally awakes, and she's immediately embraced by Anko. And I'm going to have to end it here. I know it was fast. I know it was short. But I got to get this out before I leave. Otherwise, it will never get out. And I hope you guys enjoy. See you next time. Please like, subscribe, comment down your guess of who the third person in this weird freaking relationship is, because she's obsessed with Anko, but Anko loves Naruto. Naruto is able to do I know who to put with who next. Obviously, some canon relationships are going to be there, but I'm going to change up some canon relationships. So, hopefully you enjoy. Talk to you later. Goodbye!